And we're in for 9 Pandas versus 3D Max. We've found the start game button and we're ready to get underway on a really important day for both these two teams. Both of them are 2 wins, 2 losses in the groups. Can they find a way to get a positive win-loss ratio and push further towards that top 2?
They have to, Trav. They both have to win this game, but that is impossible. Only one can walk away with the spoils, with the points. And that team will still feel good about their chances of qualifying. So it's a really important opening game here for both 3D Max and 9 Pandas. And let's see, 3D Max fell off yesterday as the day went on. They started strong. Is that going to be the case once again? Smoke thrown in towards Temple, and now the Flash is in as well. But Glowing's here. He's got the duties, and we've seen him do some fantastic damage in the past. He's got support as well. 3D Max eventually going to be able to break their way in towards the speed bomb site, and Lucky finds himself a great double kill on the entry.
Yeah, it was almost a little bit awkward there for Lucky and Jocko. They kind of got caught on each other, but as you saw, even though they were trying to still deal with the player toward the back of the site, remove them just by pure manpower. We know that 3D Max are very, very good on this map, historically at least. Recently very up and down, but
yes,
let's see if they get a really good start. They have certainly done that. Do 9 Pandas force buy? That is the question, because CT side, I feel like you need to prioritize those guns very early. So I would probably not do it, but I'm seeing some Kevlars. Uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah, I don't mind this decision. I'll tell you why. I think when you come to that first gun round in 9 for the CT side of Anubis, you need full util. And if they full save in the second round and they buy M4s in the next, you get like 2 pieces of util max, right? So I think it's a pretty good risk to take here. And if it doesn't work out, then you eco in the next and you get that full buy with an AWP and the util as well. So yeah, I kind of do think that this is a nice decision from them. Unfortunately, though, only Glowing towards the speed bomb site. He's got so much pressure mounting on him right now, but hasn't been able to find a kill at least. Rotation's coming through to try to support him on the speed bomb site, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I just balance somewhat gives up his life there. That little smoke play in mid in the gap down into Canal. Pretty sure he would have died on grey screen there. He wouldn't have been able to see anything. Lucky those 2 kills in the pistol, looking to try and do some work with the 1 AK. There's trying to find a timing, and oh, if he dropped down behind an enemy there, he definitely would have had a chance at the kill. But Gravity has positioned himself in that off angle in mid to watch that very eventuality. And talking about eventualities, the word that we wanted to talk about in this particular tournament, permutations, Matt. Permutations. Yeah. So many of those.
It's a good one.
Could come about today to find our top 2.
Yeah, there are so many different permutations that are going to affect the situation today. So many different factors that we'll have to keep in our minds as we do see forward. Klax gets a kill, but 3D Max is able to overwhelm the defense here on the speed bomb site. It's just Glowing left. He was the first player on the bomb site. He will be the last to fall, and as expected, the round will go the way of the T side, and now they get to play against a full eco. So for anybody who's just joined us, Jocko had some technical issues this morning, realized he didn't have electricity, so he had to make a plan. I know he stays in Marseille, at least according to Marcus Twitter, and looks like he's been able to find a place to play the game from. The only problem is it means he wouldn't have been able to actually focus on this match and warm up for a good hour before, kind of maybe, you know, get some information on what to expect from 9 Pandas, do a little bit of preparation. He would have been traveling around with his rig, you know, trying to set up somewhere different, maybe a slightly different setup, you know, something as small as a different desk height, for example, could even affect you, right? So I guess 3D Max wouldn't have been the most comfortable coming into this because of the situation that Jocko's been dealing with, and all his teammates as well, wondering in the back of their heads, is Jocko going to be here? Is he not? Is he going to be able to make a plan? So yeah, I guess a bit unfortunate for 3D Max that they had to deal with that issue this morning, but thankfully we have him on the server, right?
Yeah, and that's the most important thing, without a shadow of a doubt. And Jocko, I mean, I've always liked him as a player quite a lot, it has to be said. I think he's always been very explosive. He can have his maps, he can have his pop-offs, so I want to see more of that from him. Can he do it on a different setup? Good start, at least, for 3D Max overall.
Yeah. We saw 9 Pandas on this map yesterday against Monty. They started on the CT side against Monty yesterday, and they went up 8-4 on the half. So let's keep that in the back of our minds that they had a strong showing on the CT side, but they also did struggle on the T side, contrary to the way the map normally plays out here, Anubis, the T-sided map. So I wonder if that might be something similar to what we see today, strong CT side, or if it was just something that happened in isolation. I didn't even know that you got a case hardened Mac 10, by the way. Just saw that on Gravity.
Yeah, it's quite an old one, actually. It's been,
I mean, it's a lot of blue on that one for sure.
Yeah, he's found a good float. He's found a good float. He's found a good pattern. That's for sure. 9 Pandas need to find a good play, but sadly the stack is not going to work out. It's going to be down to Exorcist to see what he can do from range here. Walking away with this Galil. How much is he going to see? There we go. And now he knows it's a massive risk. Even changes hands at the last second. Maybe he favours the angle with the view model there, but Top and Shelfie hit shots like that. Dirty. Getting to the back 10. Should get a couple. And a bullet's thrown. Will actually get flanked from mid. Not spotted by Lucky when he came from that angle. Missed the timing on that one, and considering it is mostly a full eco, just a P250 and a deagle, the damage actually here is pretty good for 9 Pandas. They won't be unhappy with this. 2 kills, could even be 3. If Jocko overfaces a little bit, but thankfully he's not close to the action. Maka finish it off toward Clax. Pretty Max get the conversion.
Yeah, they lose a Galil and a Mac 10 in the process, which wouldn't worry them too much, I guess. They'll now have AKs across the board. Surprised that Maka doesn't get the AWP here. I think T-side AWP is so valuable. You know, the CTs have to have some sort of aggression more often than not in the round because of how tough the CT side is. You need to either get info or try and force that opening pick. And I feel like that's where the AWP on the T side of this map can really come into effect. Just post it up on an angle like E-box, like A main, like B main, and punish any aggression that could come through.
Iris Balance definitely had some flashy moments yesterday, which was good to see from him. Bit inconsistent, but ooh, that's a very wide jiggle. Flax almost gets punished, could still get punished. He's way in for this one, and there we go, helped up by Jocko for the kill. Iris Balance is just stuck on toward that headshot angle on Broken Wall. Manages to find Jocko, and that's a good tag as well. Come out on top of that exchange. Now the rotation through camera is very, very quick, but the flashes are back and forth. Iris Balance peaks off a timing, and the trades are back and forth. Lucky is now 1v2. He has lurked his way all the way round. Problem is, while he may have a minute to go, the bomb is dropped on the side.
Yeah, he has got plenty time to play with. I thought he might just wrap his way through CT to try and flank this A bomb site from Castle itself. But he will indeed go through cameras. The timing couldn't have been better for him because he slows down as much as he does. I just balance things. Maybe he is coming through from CT, and Lucky has actually found a highly unlikely 1 versus 2. He had nothing gifted to him there, but he's able to take everything.
It's like Lucky knew exactly the amount of time it would have needed to take without showing himself to make Iris Balance think, oh, has he gone beach? Has he gone through CT? Is he going for the big flank? As soon as Iris Balance checks the big flank, that's when Lucky appears. It's the worst timing possible for Iris Balance. He had a good round, but doesn't get rewarded for it. And Shelfie can't complete it. Lucky has been a very, very good player individually for this 3D Max team. Ever since he was re-added. The Heat days, obviously. And, well, he shows up again for what could be a massive clutch and a really important round as well. First proper gun round for 9 Pandas goes awry.
Man, it was looking like it should have been theirs. It was great work out of Iris Balance locking down the defense on the A-bomb site. They have got a few pieces to work with here on the eco though, but that's a very big kill back from Lucky, just spraying through the smoke to take glowing down. And now they'll shift their presence elsewhere. Iris Balance will hear all of these footsteps. He'll be able to relay the info through, and Clax with the CZ needs at least a kill, but he won't be able to. Exorcist has been fantastic on these entries so far.
Shelfie with the M4 and Iris Balance with the recovered Mac 10. Probably not going to be finding any success in this one. Unless he walks into Iris Balance. That's going to be, ooh, I'm going to say an upgrade, but because he's got that Molotov picked up, actually going to force him wide. Mac is very low, of course. Can't afford to even take one tick to that molly. Shelfie can push forward. It all depends whether he can find gravity. Whether he can take the point first. Actually, the bomb gets thrown in toward that position. Down the stairs. But
Wow.
in the end, the plan was the trade, and they'll deal with it. And I think Lucky has heard Idis Balance leave the situation. So the plant will still come through toward A, and they should be safe now.
Oh, it's so rough for Idis Balance, man. He now realizes that he's been bamboozled. And I was thinking, the reason I said wow was because 3D Max was still hanging around the A bomb site, and they knew that Idis Balance was A main. I thought that they would just pick up the bomb and then rotate through CT, get towards B. That's exactly what Idis Balance was thinking they were going to do as well. But thankfully, as you say, for 3D Max, Lucky was close enough to hear that rotation, so they do just jump onto the A site, and job done. Probably closer than what 3D Max would have liked, but they'll get the points on the board.
I was talking to Vincent, our friend from the CCT last night, and I was talking to him about the CZ, right? And he instantly agreed with me that genuinely, I think, especially in that position Klax is playing, buying the CZ is trolling. Like, it's just as simple as that. Like, if you have a 5-7, you can insta-headshot someone, you have 20 bullets, the CZ doesn't have that capability, and you have 12 bullets.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Klax, not a good angle to play with that pistol, I'm afraid.
I feel like he's just trying to be a hipster, you know, going to be different, going to try and show everybody else you can do it with the CZ as well, but I'm right there with you. 5-7 just makes a lot more sense either way. Have a look at the start of the round here coming through from the CT side. There's quite a few aspects of aggression. Dilladez makes his way through canals, and Glowing's pushed through A main as well. And they've just been able to pincer in towards 3D Max and catch both of their players off guard. Ecstasies will chase Dilladez down, and Lucky's found a frag elsewhere. So despite the very good start to the round here for 9 Pandas, we've actually just ended back in an even number situation.
Lucky, he's yet to die. Could this be a chance for him? Oh no, Glowing. He's caught in transition on the corner of the site there next to the pillar, and caught in the open. It can just be so easy to get entried if you're ever caught somewhat in the open like that. And yeah, I mean, especially when there are 2 players looking to entry you, basically impossible to get anything done. 3D Max with another advantage, looking very solid on this T side, and they'll know how precious these T rounds are, how it can be a T-sided map. And in a best of 1. Talking about precious rounds, well, to be fair, every round is precious in an MR12 best of 1.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It can be so punishing as 3D Max now look to shift themselves in towards the speed bomb site. All 3 players grouped up. Is 1 smoke between them and B. It's going to start to fade. Idis Balance is here with the AWP, and he's got his... I was going to say, his scope came in the correct position. He thinks that they flanked the entire way through middle. And I actually really like that they pushed through the smoke as it's got a couple seconds left on it. Idis Balance was just hoping and praying he could fully rely on that smoke to keep anybody at bay. But that's exactly what 3D Max use against in that school of thought. And, well, Lucky, he doesn't even have a... He's got an undefined kill-death ratio 6 rounds into this game, Trav.
I know, right? You can't do anything with that, with 0, can you? With the way maths technically is.
Yeah. Has had such a good start to this game, though, has Lucky.
Just needs to have 1 death now. Just go and die to Klax so we can say you've got a 10 KD. It's good to keep you guys alive, of course. I do jest, and 3 alive once again builds that money ever further, ever so slightly. 9 Pandas are going to have a lot to break down if they get even 1 round on the board to come. And important and good for 3D Max to feel so comfortable and look so comfortable early doors as well, considering the, well, I wouldn't say panic, maybe the panic's a strong word, but the stress, the added stress of trying to get Jocko a place to play.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it's affected them, man. They have come into this match looking fully motivated, on fire here in these first 6 rounds. And it kind of feels like 9 Pandas have to win this next round here, just to try to get a foothold in the CT side. Give themselves something to work with going into the second half. It's been a slow start coming through from the Russian team. And lose this round at that point, I mean, it's obviously not completely map over, but it isn't far from it.
down to glowing, down to 57. Pandas do need to find some sort of pattern with their CT aggression. Of course, I mentioned about Anubis quite a lot, that meta does change over time on maps. The CT side is looking a little bit more favourable now. It's still overall, without a doubt, T-sided this map, but you guys are finding ideas on what to do. With gravity, Shelty will be removed. Flat to deliver. Needs 2 really, only gets 1. 4v3, A bomb site open. Another plant will come in pretty quickly. Molotov in toward Dilladet's position. It forces him forward. He should go down to Jocko. He absolutely will. Oh dear. 9 Pandas. They've had a very, very slow start.
And in a full contrast, 3D Max have had a fantastic start. It's not just the individuals that are popping off. They're playing really well as a team, just playing off of each other. It's not like they're doing anything elaborate from a tactical point of view. It was just a 4-1 there, 4 players middle. I think it was Exorcies who was just lurking outside of A main, making sure none of the CTs could push through there. And the 4 players in mid worked perfectly to open up that A bomb site. Great shooting coming through from 3D Max right now. And like I said, just playing off of each other fantastically.
The spin of the bomb for Lucky. The no-death challenge is still going.
Yeah.
Round 8. Don't get me wrong.
And the spinning of the wheels for 9 Pandas.
Exactly. They haven't found second gear or even maybe first gear yet. They're in neutral.
The engine's revving, but they're not going anywhere, man.
The handbrake's on.
Oh, God. Well, let's see if they can release it here. Can they release the pressure? 3D Max are in flow state. Going to be tough to stop, and it looks like they're just going to group themselves up outside of this B bomb site early on. 9 Pandas have looked to contest B main in the past few rounds just to get some info. Hasn't been much resistance, but there certainly is this time round.
Trajectory of that incendiary. It looks like 9 Pandas information here. They're going to go aggressive. The Dilladet's flash is absolutely spot on. Glowing is going to be set up for 3 kills. And he's going to 4 on the transfer as well, but the answer back is instant. Once again, 3D Max are going to get a plant, and because of how quick that battle went down, 9 Pandas rotations are quite far away. Clax and Idis Balance. Idis Balance has an AWP coming through the E-box position as well, which just makes it doubly difficult. Honestly, I'd probably not favour 9 Pandas in this situation anymore. It looked like they had a great start thanks to Glowing alone, but now that's going to help out. It's all down to Maka. 1v2, AWP. Good flash, but misses the flick. Do they have a kit? Don't think they need it. They've got one picked up anyway, so there's no issue. Yeah, they're going to be getting that defuse done in good time. And finally, in good old Counter-Strike fashion, it will be a 7-1.
Yeah, it desperately required that round at 9 Pandas. It was a devastating response from 3D Max after 9 Pandas find those first, 3 kills off the round. Maka gets 2 in response, and then a fantastic 3rd kill thrown into the mixer as well. They get that B bomb site, and then I'm pretty nervous for 9 Pandas. I'm right there with you. I was concerned for their cause on the retake, but able to make it happen. Nice shot there from Idis Balance to take down Jocko. That was the really important kill. Maka was left in a very challenging position after that. So 9 Pandas have finally been able to break the seal. They've got themselves on the board, but that has to be the first of a few here. Can't just be 1 round in isolation. I mean, I'm thinking like 4 is the bare minimum, Trav. Anything less than 4 is going to be so difficult to recover.
Yeah, we usually talk about it, don't we? Like 5 you'd be quite happy with, but 4, it's winnable, but not ideal. Anything less than that is a bit scary. Too much, you would feel impossible. Anubis has seen some big comebacks in its time. It's short time, it has to be said, in the pool. It's certainly cemented itself in the pool, though. I think it's a great addition now. As I mentioned earlier in the veto process, just the fact that Vertigo has had changes that teams aren't comfortable with yet necessarily, other than some maybe specialists like Mouse and XT, for example. Dust 2 being added in. And it was more popular, even more than it already was. Great flash coming through from 9 Pandas again. They're trying to do what they did before, but Glowing, a double flash coming in. The Lucky's being absolute nuisance. That's so frustrating. He avoids both flashes and still gets both kills. He's down low for his troubles, and Anubis Balance recovers it into a 3v3. He's keeping a close eye on Jocko's position, and he'll find it. Advantage for 9 Pandas, but not for long.
Yeah, great kill back there from Gravity to try and get 3D Max into the round. And now you've got Dilladez and Anubis Balance left alone on either bomb site. Had to kind of hedge their bets there, split the defense up. Where do 3D Max go from here? It's going to have to be a B bomb site finish. It's an AWP on either bomb sites as well. Not ideal. Dilladez normally does his work with the rifle, so let's see if he can get it done here with the York force. Back by the utility. Misses a key shot there. They now know exactly where he is. They're going to close the gap. Dilladez trying to buy as much time as possible. You can see he looks awfully uncomfortable with that AWP, Trav, and that's going to cost him his life. Anubis Balance has arrived, but there's no kills on offer here. Nothing being given for free. A fresh smoke's going to be very difficult for him to navigate here as well. And Gravity and Lucky will just continue to play alongside one another. Anubis Balance edging his way around the bomb site, looking for something, looking for anything, but finding nothing. Doesn't have a kit either. Time ticking away, and he doesn't have a head. What a recovery from 3D Max as they get themselves up to 8.
Oh, well, we've just learnt something very unfortunate about this round. Dilladez is not an AWPer, and you've just had first-hand experience why. Listen, missing shots is one thing. He actually does the right thing in terms of trying to waste as much time as possible. There's 9 seconds for the plant. He's trying just to dance around the site, keep shooting, maybe deny them the possibility of feeling safe for the plant at all. But 3D Max is still happy to commit to it, go for it. Dilladez then pushes forward to maybe try and get a no-scope, but a flash comes in at the worst possible time for him. He denies that plant. Would have been super, super tight for Lucky to pick it up and get it down again. Obviously, it would have been a completely different situation too. 1v2 rather than 2v1. 3D Max looking comfortable. 9 Pandas looking awkward and laboured at the moment.
And now it's decision-making time as well, because when you look at their economy, Glowing and Clax don't have enough for a full buy here. The rest of the team does, so how do they spend their money? Do they go all in? I feel like they have to. They just don't really have the rounds to play with to settle for an eco and then give up that 9th round to 3D Max for free. Such a brutal position that 9 Pandas find themselves in yesterday. And a stark contrast from what we saw out of them yesterday as well. You know, they were in some great form. We got to cast them a couple times and they impressed us on both occasions, but unfortunately today, just not looking like the same team.
Yeah. Of course, we mentioned that we'd keep you up to date on how all the games are going today thus far, and we can do exactly that. Of course, there probably won't be too many spoilers here, as we are a little bit obviously delayed, thanks to just delayed to HLTV. But yeah, what we will say, updates on the other games.
Yes.
Rush B, 9-8 up on Monty. If Monty don't recover that, Monty's hopes are probably completely dashed. They need to win every single one of their best
probably,
of
I'd
ones
say
today.
certainly.
Yeah,
I'll stick my neck out there and say there's no chance.
Yeah, you know what? I will agree with you. I think they're definitely out if they don't win all their BO1s today. And if Rush B beat them, that's probably done. Aurora 9-3 down on
Oh my god.
So the two teams who probably went into this, at least in our eyes, Monty and Aurora, as teams that aren't on good form but should step up to the plate for this sort of qualifier, well, unfortunately that poor form has continued. Saw 9-3 up, as I said, right now. And in the other game, of course, between two teams who are very much in it, and one of them at the top of the group, in Sinners. Sinners are continuing their incredible run. 9-6 up on Paravision at the moment.
Yeah, if Rush B and Sinners are the two teams to reach the playoffs, then at that point, Boazi and X-Guild Eagles, two teams who won their regional cups to get themselves seeded straight into the playoffs. I mean, at that point, they're licking their lips because they're not having to play against an Aurora or a Saw or something like that, right? So I just can't believe the form we've seen from Rush B and Sinners here in this qualifier. It has been fantastic. You know, Sinners have had multiple chances to qualify for Pro League already. In the upper brackets of ESL Challenger League Season 47, lost out there to Movistar Koi, where they won 8 rounds across 2 maps. They then got beaten by Sangal in the lower bracket. Had they won either of those series, they would have qualified for Pro League. So now this is their last chance, and it looks like they're bringing their best game at least.
Yeah, and it'd be great to see them in Pro League. I mean, what a great result that would be for them, and what a great boon after the roster changes they've had to go through as of late as well. I think one thing that deserves to be mentioned as well is that Rush B, kind of crazy that obviously, one, they've even got here, but two, they don't really play much at all. They played in like one CCT other than their Challenger League exploits, right? And they're doing so well still, so... Yeah.
So they play the events that matter the most, like trying to qualify for Pro League and CCT. I get them. Alright, well, we're back into the action, and it has indeed looking... It's an eco round here from 9 Pandas. They decided to buy up an orb on Idis Balance, and it's already been dispatched of, and it's unrecoverable as well. XSCs continues to lead the charge here in towards the Zay bomb site. Shelfie finds a good double, showcases the capabilities of that 5-7. But it doesn't, I don't think it's going to affect the outcome of the round here. Dilladez sure he's got an M4 himself and Glowing rotating across to that A bomb site, but it's going to be a highly unlikely retake here for them.
You mentioned the 5-7. Klax was the man that was ahead of Shalfie, right? He had the CZ, his instant ding.
Well, there we go.
And didn't get the kill, obviously. So, does that make my point, maybe? That if Klax had a 5-7,
absolutely, it does.
He gets the kill. 1v1, by the way. It's actually... winnable. Hang on a moment. Oh, Maka.
Wow.
Thankfully, he has a rifle on the floor to immediately switch to feel 10 times more comfortable. And he is absolutely super assertive on that. Fair play.
That's what I was thinking as well, man. Just going for that wide swing immediately in the 1v1, asserting his dominance, and he will win the round for his team. But going back to the CZ5-7 conversation, I feel like we could use that as an advert for the 5-7. Like, not only does it highlight how good the 5-7 is, it also just shows how lackluster its competition is. So, yeah, bang on cue with what you were saying earlier as well.
It's not like it's a choice now, right? You could have both in your loadout if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
But still... Yeah, just completely evident there that Klax is plainly trolling by using the CZs. Like, that dink is probably a kill, and who knows, Shelfie might get an extra 2 off the back of it if he already got 2 before. So, who knows, man, who knows? That is for an alternate universe. But one thing we know Klax is good at is the rifle work. He's not had a great game so far, but you can't really beat up on him about that because no one has, apart from Glowing. Timing here for Shelfie in mid, really important kill to take, and he's going to keep them at bay as well with that incendiary. It's actually the bomb that's been thrown forward in mid a little bit there as well. It's been picked up, but intel for 9 Pandas is that's where they were heading for at least a solid idea with that C4 early round.
Must-win round here for 9 Pandas. I mean, already they've conceded 9 rounds, and I kind of feel like this is an unassailable lead here for 3D Max, so at this point it's damage control, just trying to save face. 9 Pandas need these last 2.5, which means they have to complete this round with an opening kill. 3D Max have just completely slowed things down, still numbers grouped up in towards middle. Here's a player top mid that's been spotted out. Gun barrel nearly seen. Shelfie's actually closed the gap up towards the double doors here. Marcus is definitely not going to consider this nor as lucky. And Shelfie will reign supreme. Death and devastation. A brilliant triple from the IGL. A quad in the round. And finally, we're seeing a convincing round out of the CT side.
Remember yesterday, Matt? Remember Shelfie playing Trigger Discipline to get that 3 kills? Which basically
yeah,
sealed
true.
their
In the
game.
last round, that's what won the map, right? That was the last round of overtime.
Yes, sir. Shelfie's done it again, and it's a completely unexpected position for him to be in too, right? Because he gets that 1 kill, throws the incendiary down. Last thing you're going to expect is, after all that time, is that he's actually pushed up again to play close door in an angle that very rarely gets more than 1 more. So, yeah, brilliance from Shelfie. That's some of that individual level and individual calm we've grown to see from him and enjoy as well.
Fantastic game sense on display. 9-3 could be the scoreline, but ironically it would be 9 Pandas with 3 and 3D Max with 9. Make it make sense. You can't. Just a fun little anecdote there with the numbers and the names. Sorry, I felt like it was one I had to explain.
You have to explain the joke, though.
Jokes are so much funnier when they're explained, though, Trav.
I feel like you're gaslighting me right now.
I am. I 100% am.
Alright. Looks like 3D Max is going to try and turn up the pace to end this first half, but unfortunately, they're getting shut down. Shelfie and Glowing with a good start. But overall, of course, 3D Max very happy with this half. 9-3. Looks like it's going to be incredibly solid. But what a flash! I'm speaking too soon. That is incredible. That doesn't just flash one, it flashes two. And Glowing and Shelfie both go down. Dilladez couldn't do anything either in the end, and now Klax has got Incendiary to use, but will that even spread? No, it won't. It hits the smoke, and just it gets extinguished. And it's completely turned on its head. 9Pandas had a superb chance in this one to give this game a go. 9-3, I felt it's even then is still quite doable. 10-2 is an extra step that could be too far. And look at this for Idis Balance. He's got two players, make that three. As you can see, all posted. It's an impenetrable crossfire, and Lucky will get an instant trade. Double digits on T side for 3D Max. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Making magic when they need it most.
A masterclass display coming through from 3D Max on their T side gets them up 10-2. It wasn't without 9Pandas making quite a few mistakes and losing advantageous situations as well. 9Pandas will have to eclipse what we've seen from 3D Max if they're going to win a chain regulation, or at least try equal up overtime. Trav, I don't think they've got it in them, but they do need to win this pistol round. That is an absolute, and Shelfie has started it off perfectly.
Yeah, Shelfie basically had the one shining light for 9Pandas on that half, right? With that trigger discipline quad kill in mid. Try and make it a second, at least in the second half. 2 opening kills on the pistol. The A-bomb site is the way to go. Next is the only one here. And now make that nobody here. Gravity and Lucky miles away, and 9Pandas have a path at least to get off to a good start in the second half. But how much more? One thing I want to mention, of course, now is that I can confirm it's pretty much guaranteed. I'm going to do the same thing as you. I'm going to say it is guaranteed now because they're just so far behind. Rush B have beaten Monty, so Monty almost guaranteed to be out of consideration for Pro League now.
Disastrous.
Yeah.
Absolutely disastrous for them. I mean, they looked so good against 3D Max yesterday, and that kind of led us all to believe maybe there's a chance that they can make it happen. If they come in today and they play like they did against 3D Max yesterday, then who knows what happens at that point. But they've lost arguably their easiest game of the day, Trav.
Technically, that's what it should be, right? Like, it's... I don't know. It's a shock with the roster they have, with the talent they have. I know it's best of ones. Anything can happen. We've seen that with Rush B and Sinners topping the group yesterday with some, you know, arguably better teams around them. Just not the case. Just not the case. This is why this game we're watching right here is so important, of course. One team will go 2 and 3. One team will go 3 and 2. Lucky does say.
Yeah, I
by
guess.
the way.
I guess. Rush B have taken a massive step closer to being one of 2 teams that are going to qualify because they're up to 12 points. That's insane. Can't believe it. Alright, well, focusing up here, as you say, it is just going to be a full eco, so not much to get excited about. It's not impossible for 9 Pandas to make this comeback happen, T-side Anubis. Problem for me is that they're obviously a relatively new team in terms of a new coach and a new IGL. They do push into the stack, but no problem because it is pistols here and fairly unupgraded as well. Should just be the one casualty. There'll be 2 frags, but still, round goes the way of 9 Pandas as we move into this first full gun round. As I was saying though, my only concern for 9 Pandas is potentially the lack of depth on this T side because of the fact they've got a new coach and a new IGL in the mix. And so they might not have the prowess, the tactical prowess required here to complete such a significant, substantial comeback on the T side of Anubis.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's important to think about the timing, as we spoke about yesterday, of adding Shalfie to the team. Both of us couldn't agree more with the addition, but it's a question of maybe do you wait until the cycle of these Pro League qualifiers are over? Was it maybe an ultimatum on when you should be buying Shalfie, for example? So if you don't take him now, then deals off, something like that. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 9 Pandas have definitely not looked as clean without Seized. And that just comes to familiarity. And in time, I expect 9 Pandas to be on that level of qualifying for the major again. That's probably the goal, without a doubt, to once again qualify for a major, but this time I actually have a chance to play it, bless them. It must have been one of the most painful situations in the entire career of all these players.
Yeah, and none more so than for Seized, because he's in the twilight of his career, could actually be finished at this point. So, yeah, certainly brutal for him, completely out of their control. Visa issues, they qualified for the major fair and square. Either way, 4 versus 5 here, focusing up on the round because there's a man advantage for 3D Max, and Ecstasy is able to avoid the flashbang, not the second though. Lovely double flash coming through from the T side there by design to make sure that if there is a player who's turned away, he'll catch the second one. Maka, only good for the 1 frag. Lucky has his head just torn off by glowing. And that will be 9 Pandas taking commanding control of the safe bomb site, but there's an immediate response.
There is immediate response, Jocko. And look, there's 2 toward that having position straight away. They're going to be a lot faster on the action here than perhaps 9 Pandas are expecting. If Gravity finds Shalfie, it's going to be down to Idis Balance, and Gravity is going to find it. Oh, wow. I thought Glowing had done it for his team. Especially, hello, Gravity. He's using up all the ammunition. But, yeah, I mean, that is completely unexpected, I feel like. Once Glowing got that 2k entry, I felt so comfortable. But the fact that they were just so close already toward heaven. They didn't know Jocko was there as well, of course. They were occupied while planting the bomb. That's why Jocko swings when he does. Because he knows he's only got a 1v1 to take at that moment. And, well, it works out for 3D Max. Another really close round. A critical one that goes their way.
Yeah, it's a devastating blow to 9 Pandas' chances here, as we do see them using another timeout. Got to kind of query how this is only the second pause we're seeing coming through from them after the really rough run on their CT side, but still, they're going to invest their money They won't have everything they'd like coming into this round, and 3D Max are now on the cusp. They're on the brink. And the individuals, I mean, how good have the individuals actually looked for 3D Max? Because I'd say, in terms of opening duels, it's probably somewhere in the vicinity of 50-50 on this map. I think 9 Pandas have had as many opening duels as 3D Max have had here on Anubis. But they've really struggled to convert them. In fact, they've lost, I think even like 2 or 3 3 versus 5s have 9 Pandas.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that, actually. Too many. And definitely something to look back on in the demo later to say, wow, we just can't afford to lose these. What went wrong?
Yeah, just having a look from the 13th round, of course, HLTV is slightly behind us, but from the 13th round, 9 Pandas had 8 opening kills. From the 14th, excuse me, which means they had 8 compared to the 6 from 3D Max, and they're losing, so that's not a good sign.
3D Max, of course, winning that previous round with just gravity alive means that the buys are great, and 9 Pandas will know that without a doubt. XM in play, 2 MP9s as well, and one of the MP4s is already down. Lucky's got the other one, but now he's 32 HP. MP9 of Manga needs to help out. He's going to try and remove one, and Glowing just ignores the possibility of heaven. He's just assuming that his teammates are going to deal with it, but not quick enough. He gets taken down. Klax somehow finds Jocko. And don't ask me how, we've actually found ourselves in a 1v2 for XC. Frank's come back in response, he's got the excellent range, it's not going to happen. And 9 Pandas will keep themselves alive in this game in what was a pretty wild A-take.
Yeah, it was a brawl, indeed, trying to get themselves in towards that A-bomb site, but it works out very nicely for 9 Pandas, and that will put them back on course here. It's going to have to be an eco round for 3D Max as well. They get $2,400 if they lose this next round, so makes sense, they just save their money. Maka could even get an AWP in that next round. 9 Pandas just holding on here. Holding on by a thread. Remember, if 9 Pandas lose this, the most points that they will be able to accumulate by the end of the round robin would be 12. Both Rush B and Sinners are already on 12 points, Trav.
Yes. This is, they're actually running away with it right now. I think they might be one step in that semi-final bracket, both of them.
If they win one of their next two games, it's basically guaranteed that they both qualify.
Yes. So this is huge now. This really is huge. They need to... I think every one of these sort of 2-2 teams right now, Saw, 9 Pandas, 3D Max, Paravision, actually Paravision are 2 and 3 of course because they just lost. But I think Saw, 9 Pandas and 3D Max, I'm not sure on the Saw score right now, I think that's very close against Aurora. I think they're 11-8 up or something like that, but if they don't win any of those, all these last few games, I don't think they're going to be in with a shot considering where Rush B and Sinners have put themselves.
Yeah, it's just so ironic coming into this round robin. You know, we kind of touted 6 of the 8 teams as the ones more likely to qualify. And the 2 teams that we thought would struggle the most who are at the top of the pops right now. That just shows you how, how level the playing field is, how steep the competition is at this, you know, point in the community kind of thing.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, there's a reasonable way of looking at this. Maybe what we're seeing from the likes of Monty, from the likes of Aurora, 1 and 4 for Monty, 1 and 3 for Aurora. This is the form we've seen from them lately, just full stop. Like,
it's true.
It's weird, right? Like, people will look at this bracket and look at this group and look at these standings and say, well, that is a massive choke. Where are you? Where have you gone? But crazily, on recent form, they are genuinely worse than everyone above them, which is just wrong to say, but also right.
I think the thing is you just look at the name value in the teams and you're like, yeah, these guys are so good at the game that you just fully expect them to be in the conversation for the top of the table. But you're right, man. When you look at recent form and you use that as your only barometer to judge the teams, then Aurora and Monty were always going to struggle in this qualifier. Thankfully for Aurora, they'll be competing at ESL Challenger Yongshipeng, which means that they could still qualify for ESL Pro League. But this is now 3 out of 4 chances that they've squandered, basically.
Yeah, there's a number of opportunities in Yongshipeng, right? Like, say, for example, I know it probably won't happen, but say like they play complexity in the final, like just by making the final, they will have made
That's
it.
true.
Because obviously complexity
Because
are a partner
partner
team.
team.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there are ways for Aurora, don't get me wrong, but I thought their most favourable way would be through online Counter-Strike, which they of course qualified for so damn much this year, including winning a massive event as well, right? So yeah, it's very rough and very scary for them, and so is this round between 9 Pandas and 3D Max. Glowing and Shelfie versus Lucky and Maka. Glowing has picked up the up, of course, on low HP. Correct decision. The brawl did come through toward the E-box position there. Almost a spray transfer hit. And now they've figured out where Maka's playing from. That's going to be a very awkward incendiary. Look at the damage he's done to Shelfie. 11 and 13 HP. Maka just being an absolute nuisance right now. But he has to know it's the AWP. Maybe he doesn't. He gives his life up. And now we have a very curious 1v2 that anything could happen with.
24 points of health between the two players left alive for 9 Pandas and only 18 for Lucky. However, he is posted up on the correct angle right now. Glowing has kind of felt out that A bomb site and seen that there's no presence there. And so Shelfie's going to double back in that direction. It makes sense. How far does Glowing go in towards mid? Because if he overextends here, then he's going to push into the crosshair of Lucky, and it's exactly what he does. At least he can relay the info through to Shelfie, who'll have a free path through cameras into that A bomb site. And Lucky's thinking, well, if Glowing was flanking around middle, then they're probably going to try to go B here. Footsteps heard? Well, Molly certainly will be. And Lucky's going to get a move on here, but this is a very level playing field in the 1 versus 1.
Yeah. I understand using the molly there. I'd actually kind of prefer if he kept it. He could have easily used it for the bomb at some point. Oh, has he been heard? I just saw Lucky look into the wall. I think, yeah, there we go. I think he's realised where he's running towards. So, massive thing for Lucky. No defuse kit. HE. Oh, it doesn't go anywhere near where he wanted to go. It banks off the edge of the pillar instead. But he has some Pika's advantage to work with, and Shelfie finds it. Of course, not to know whether Lucky has a defuse kit or not. Takes the opportunity, takes the assertiveness, and once that HE sort of clipped off the semicircle, the arched part of the wall, and just went straight on, I thought, uh-oh, he's going to have to swing now. And thankfully, for his sake, he did. And only 4 rounds the gap, Matt. This game's on.
Yeah, absolutely it is. I just couldn't believe the balls on Lucky that he was straight up looking to try and stick that 10-second defuse on the first tap, man. No smoke or anything.
Yeah.
I respect it. Either way, as you say, things starting to look a little bit sketchy now for 3D Max. They were in a very comfortable position at one point here, leading 10-2 coming into this half. They won the first gun round of this half as well. That's the only round they've been able to pick up, though. And, well, should be a relatively easy round here for 9 Pandas to convert as well and close the gap to 3. Problem is, even though it has been a great start to the half for 9 Pandas, just because of all the work 3D Max do on their T side, it's still like you're chasing the game massively, and if you make one mistake, you basically give up the game.
Yeah. They've made one mistake already, right? Up against Gravity. Gravity clutching that critical 1v1 for their only round in the game. Going to try something cheeky with a Zeus, but not going to work against Dilladez. The Zeus kind of sucks now. I don't know what they've done to it. They sort of the silent nerf of maybe lowering the range of the cone of the Zeus, the electricity bolt, but I think whatever they've done to it has made it pretty much useless now, other than maybe a few positions on nuke. Very rare you see it come through. It was Rops who made it look like it was a bit overpowered, to be honest. Maybe Valve saw it and was like, no,
yeah.
Rops, we're not going to let you do more of this.
I mean, it actually became pretty popular in the inside pistol round. You would just buy a Zeus and then hold a very close angle and almost be guaranteed a kill. You just had to basically click anywhere on your opponent, right? In certain positions, close proximity. So, yeah. Unfortunately, been nerfed and kind of feels like into oblivion. 11-8, the imminent scoreline. 9 Pandas doing everything they can yet to fight back on Anubis. This next gun round is going to carry all the gravity, though, because there's going to be an AWP play for Maka, all the rifles, all the util. And if 9 Pandas win this next gun round, I almost want to say that they're in pole position to win the map at that point.
I know, right? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm pretty sure yesterday, I'm going to just quickly double check this. I think 3D Max played in a different tournament yesterday as well. Previous results. Let's see. That was the 9th. So that was yesterday. That was versus 9. So they lost to the new 9 team. Yes, okay, this is the game. I found it. The new 19, of course, with Masuta, Sound, Mantu, Refresh, and Rolls. They played Anubis as a third map decider. Okay? 9 won 13-9 and went 10-0 on their T side. 3D Max didn't win a single CT side round from 9-3 up.
Damn, that's crazy. So recent history suggests that the comeback is more doable than we initially thought, actually.
Yeah, it just clocked to me. I just remembered that game. I saw it yesterday, and I saw Anubis was a third map decider, so I thought I'd check recent results. And yeah, that is bad. That is very bad, because don't forget, I'll mention it one more time, the only round that 3D Max have won on their CT side, it's one more than yesterday, thankfully, but it was just a clutch from Gravity that is not exactly repeatable.
Yeah, what I will say is rather have it happen in that game against 9 than in this game against 9 Pandas.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they would have been able to watch the demo and realize where they were falling short the most and be able to rectify that so that they don't make the same mistakes in this all-important game. 11-8. Massive gun round. 9 Pandas just playing out a passive default here from the get-go, not really applying any significant pressure. Exorcies will trade blows, but actually comes off worse for wear. Dilates through the smoke has found an opening kill. And, you know, it's a pretty poor way to give up an opening kill for the CT side, especially in such an important round where, you know, you really need to play the percentages. Nine Pandas now going to shift in towards the bomb site. Might get ahead of the incendiary. They do, and they take Jocko's head off as a result. It's only Gravity now on the bomb site itself. Muck is rotated through. Thankfully, Gravity has got the cover of the pillar. Muck take the attention away, but Gravity can only get the one kill, and 3D Max are faltering on their CT side.
Again. Dilates with 3 big kills. Gravity had an opportunity to maybe recover things. He had the M4A4, he had the extra bullets, but could only pounce on 1. Of course, had to worry about 2 angles, and as soon as his teammate got taken down, there was no chance. Lucky is 19-8 in this game, but has no say in this round.
Okay. 21st round is upon us. And it's going to have to be another eco for 3D Max, basically a half buy, which means 9 Pandas have a very good opportunity here of getting themselves to double digits. As we mentioned, if 9 Pandas could win the previous round, which is exactly what they did, we would back them to go on to win the map from there. I mean, overtime is still very likely. 3D Max just need one round of these next 4 to guarantee themselves OT. Surely they can make that happen, Trav. Surely that's not too much to ask. There's no way 9 Pandas win this map in regulation. I can't bring myself to believe it.
Surely is a strong word, my friend. It's in italics, underscore, bold even. Surely the XM doesn't get a kill. Oh, Lucky's done so much damage. He's burning. Flash in to push him off the angle. Now Shelfie's out of bullets on the A1S. Waiting for Lucky to reface. But that patience from Lucky is unbelievable. Actually might prove to be his demise. Oh, gets away from the HE. Concerned if that were me, I'd be holding W with that XM to at least get that one kill. But Jocko, thankfully, with Gravity, they've held W with their MP9s and gotten a kill back. Shelfie is stuck. He's going to get absolutely run down.
Oh.
And this round for 9 Pandas is going south at the worst possible time.
It's uncanny how often these sorts of rounds can be the difference maker, and it's because you just feel like you've got a whole lot more freedom. That's why they're making the play in towards B main. They're not playing like this. Their lives depend on this round, and they don't want to make any mistakes. Got some flamboyancy about them. Exorcies with the smoke fading. Doesn't expect Clax up close. I mean, it's actually a pretty crap angle he's taken up there, to be honest. But either way, still a chance in the round here. 3 versus 2, 20 seconds on the clock. Idis Balance has to commit to the plant, but there's no pressure from 3D Max, so it's okay. Bomb gets activated. And now Clax and Idis Balance can work in conjunction with one another here to make sure that this round goes their team's way.
Honestly, it all comes down to Idis Balance, and that is the big miss shot. Macca's taking it. In comes the MP9. So much damage to Klax. He's caught in the open, trying to reposition, knowing there's a double flank coming in. And 3D Max are going to stop the rot. Going by, of course, previous results that I spoke about with that 10-0 streak for 9 last night, I was certainly concerned, but they've at least guaranteed themselves overtime. Of course, 9 Pandas will be straight back at it. They've got plenty of cash. So, game's by no means done, but now 9 Pandas can't afford any more mistakes.
Oh, it's just so brutal that that's what kind of breaks 9 Pandas, losing a round of that nature. And as I say, it happens more often than not in our beloved esport of Counter-Strike. Because that's the round where 3D Max just play with more freedom. They get it and they catch 9 Pandas off guard. And they now need one of these next 3 do 3D Max and they'll finish off the job. Secure the 3 points and get themselves up to 9 here in the round robin.
Take mid. Very often he is the man to be tasked with that role on Anubis. Lucky is waiting for Maka to get into position to perhaps go for a swing from camera and a swing from the temple, but Idis Balance is very much trained on this. He's got extra support as well, but it's a static peek from Lucky, and Idis Balance eats them all up. Looking for a third on the flick. Overheats slightly there, I think Idis Balance. Didn't need to swing so wide. So it's only a 2 for 1. It could have been a 2 for nothing. 12-9 for 3D Max, but Maka having to fight his way back in toward A with his utility. Again, it's now time for him to show up on the AWP, but that smoke's going to be awkward. A right-click smoke of his own, perhaps work through it, but there's a 1-2 for now. There's going to be a plan to come through for 9 Pandas very shortly.
They'll pull the plug on this. Almost certainly 3D Max going to have to just settle for the save. They'll still have a decent round loss bonus behind them, so saving these 3 guns is really important. This is a neat little boost just to try and peer above the smoke, but nothing on offer. And 9 Pandas have kept themselves in the conversation here. They will get to double digits, not in the round they were hoping for, but they will make it happen. 12-10. We continue to fight here on Anubis. I'm pretty sure this is the last game that's still running. Of course, we had multiple other matches playing out already. We have 4 games running concurrently. Rush B beat Monty convincingly. Sinners just eclipsed Parry Vision 13-11 there, and Saw beat Aurora 13-10. So that basically means Aurora is out of contention as well. And our next game here on this stream, Monty versus Aurora, the 2 teams who have been eliminated from the qualifier. When I say eliminated, by virtue of not being capable of actually getting enough points to get in towards the top 2 of the table. So that's a full dead rubber game.
We could have an absolute wild game there. It's going to be basically casting a prac game, I would say.
Yeah.
Between Monty and Aurora. They're just going to use it as prac. It's as simple as that. It could be absolute madness. We could see random knives coming in, all sorts of wacky stuff in that match. So I guess stick around for Monty versus Aurora, even though they kind of suck at the moment. Diladez, he certainly does not suck. That is a huge 2K entry, but Maka, he's standing and delivering. Can he get more? This could be the round that takes 3D Max one step closer to that top 2 in the group. Diladez with those 2 kills will finally get taken down by Lucky. Back into a 3 versus 3, and they still know that there's a pistol and AWP in play. Up close range, this Idis Balance AWP is trying to remove him from the equation, but Lucky has somehow paused his way out of the site to play the 3v3.
Yeah, good moving there to slink his way back to safety. Maka with the shotgun. Oh, catches a glimpse of Shelfie, takes him down. He'll find the head of Klax as well. Brilliant shooting coming through from Maka. He even concludes proceedings. 13-10. Brilliant stuff on display from the French AWPer. And that will lock in the map. Look at Trav's face. It says it all.
Wow, quad kill for Maka, just at the right time as well. That was absolutely brilliant. And as we said, we spoke about it.